Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing in the brand new Tier 8 French medium tank, the Lorraine 40t. This vehicle is something that I was kind of skeptical about buying at first, but I really don't enjoy playing a lot of my Tier 8 premium tanks for grinding, and I was just kind of getting tired of grinding the same vehicles over and over. When this thing came out, I'm like, autoloader premium tank with 232 pen, I guess I could get used to that, and so even though I'm super broke, I put down some of my birthday money and picked this bad boy up. And so far, I am completely loving it. It's probably one of the best decisions I made in my World of Tanks career. This thing is my bae. It just prints credits like crazy. I was running a 50% 2-hour premium consumable, and I was able to earn over 2 million credits in 2 hours, which is crazy. But every game I was winning, I was making anywhere between 150 to 200 million, or million, I wish, yeah, 200,000 credits. And this was one of my best games that I had in it since I picked it up, and that's why I decided to show you guys. If you haven't picked it up, I don't recommend buying this vehicle if you are a new player or if you've never played an autoloader, because this vehicle is very unforgiving, and the tendency for a new player when they play a lightly armored fast tank with an autoloader is to keep yourself exposed while emptying your clip, which is not what you want to do. And so if you're a new player, I would kind of stay clear of the Lorraine. But if you are good with French vehicles, if you like autoloaders and you're good with them, this is just gonna be the best tank for you. Thank me later. Anyway, the map we're playing on today is Airfield, and if you look at our team, it's actually quite solid. Coming into this game, I was like, oh, we're going to just roll them. It's going to be an easy win. But sometimes things don't quite work out the way you think they're gonna. Looking at the team, they have a 121 and an E50 that are both very good players. And I have a suspicion that they're both going to be pushing up into this area here. A lot of good players, especially in fast tanks, will push this little knoll so they can shoot into the middle, into the hill, and also turn around and engage. It pretty much gives you full map control, and that's usually the area that I would push as well. Our team is like solid green, and we have some great players. Our top tier aren't super impressive, but again, they're just going to be meat shields at this point. But again, overall, we have a very good team, and this is going to allow me to play somewhat aggressively because I need to play aggressive if I'm going to get damage in a game like this. So you'll see me play, kind of passive, not really aggressive. I don't know how you guys would play the Lorraine in a map and a tier 10 game like this, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Anyway, we'll get the game rolling here. Now, just immediately you can see that this tank is definitely not slow. It's extremely fast for a medium tank, and the fact that it also has the highest penetration out of any Tier 8 medium tank is crazy. It's fast. It's got great gun depression. I think it's -8. It's got a 4-clip autoloader that does 300 damage, so it has a 1200 damage potential, and it's got 232 penetration with very, very nice accuracy as well. So this is a position I like to take in my faster tanks. It's kind of risky, especially in these scenarios. Take a snapshot hoping to hit that 121. Kind of a bad shot on my part, but it doesn't really matter. It's worth it if you do happen to hit. So as you can see, our team is doing weird things. I was expecting them to push through up to where I am, but they're just all kind of sitting there because they're so focused on hitting that 50B. Now this is normally okay if the team wasn't going to push, or their team wasn't going to push up, but they have some dangerous players, and I'm a little bit worried here of what's going to happen. But thankfully they are moving, and now you see that the south is just completely gone. We do have a Scent and a T-32 in the middle, but how long they'll last, I don't know. I noticed that this Patriot is pushing out, and I'm going to just take advantage of that as fast as I can. And you'll notice that this autoloader is very nice indeed. I'm able to pump out 3 shots, getting me just about 900 damage. Just within a matter of seconds. And this is where autoloaders are just completely beautiful. But the other reason that they're the downside, I guess, to them is the fact that I do have a 32-second reload time where I'm sitting here, I got perfect shots on this defender, and I'm unable to fire my gun. You just have to be patient. And this is where carrying, and I have no idea how that guy hit me without me being unspotted, but maybe he just kind of sensed I was there. Anyway, it's very painful to carry an autoloader, in my opinion, because you get into a position where you're one of the last tanks remaining. Maybe they have 3 or 4 tanks, and you have to engage them one at a time, because if you get into a position where you can't kill both of them with remainder shots, or you have to bounce a shot, for instance, then you're absolutely screwed. You will lose your entire HP bar very quickly, and there's no way you're going to get out of that situation. So this is where you really have to be tactical with these vehicles, and you want to try to keep the gun singing as quickly and as long as possible. Never sit around without shooting if you can help it. Try to put yourself into a position where you can keep shooting, but that's where it's really tricky. Again, if you are in a situation where you're constantly shooting, you're going to be constantly exposing your vehicle, and this tank doesn't have great camouflage, so again, it's kind of a catch-22, I guess, where you're like, I don't really know what to do. So you see me load a clip of APCR ammo, and this is because I just kept bouncing and I was getting really frustrated and I really wanted to take out that defender. But you noticed earlier that E100 was completely broadside to me driving through the open, and I could not shoot him because I was reloading my clip, and this is where those situations become very frustrating. So the game is unfolding quite slowly. There's really not a lot going on. The E100 is pushing our base, but my platoon mate Brennan told me, hey, I got this, don't worry about it. And I trust him. And so, sure enough, our guys are able to take out the E100. Now, I gotta be really careful here because I've only done 1100 damage and I'm down to 500 damage. I haven't even done my HP and damage, and I could be potentially one-shotted by that defender if he hits me. So I do have to be careful. With autoloaders, you want to try to exchange, if you have to trade shots, trade 1 shot for 1 clip. If you can do that ratio, you'll get 4,000 damage and you'll walk away happy. But in this scenario where I've pretty much traded 1 clip for pretty much my entire health bar is pretty bad. So I take a shot at this guy. I'm trying to get a track shot on him, but again, I don't want to miss. I am able to connect into his track, and I'm able to get some damage in. Now, unfortunately, only a couple of those shots landed, 3 of them, I guess. And the last one just tracked him, but that's okay because this mod 1 is putting in some damage for me, and it's actually counting towards my assist, which is nice. So the game is unfolding. It's actually quite even at this point. The 50B that's behind me, I believe, is quite low on HP. Their Jagdpanther 100 is also down to a 1-shot. Their Emil is also hurting pretty bad, and it looks like we're going to pull this through. I was really expecting this game to unfold very differently, but for some reason it didn't. So 2 for 2, I'm able to kill the E100 or the Jagdpanther E100 as well as the Emil 1. And that's the beauty of having an autoloader in those situations, is you can just boom boom. Within 2 seconds you have 2 dead tanks. So their Centurion is just a special player. He's been sitting on their cap, I think, this entire time, not really helping the team. And I fire. I'm shooting APCR, so just cleanly whizzed through his turret 2 in a row. I believe the penetration on these rounds are upwards of 260, which isn't amazing for APCR ammunition, but again, it is a premium tank and it's a tier 8, so that 30 extra pen can really help sometimes if you're in a scenario where you have to go through the side of an E100 or the turret of a Centurion Action X. And so I do carry quite a bit, about 50-50 APCR, and that's because this vehicle is a premium tank, and I can shoot as much gold as I want to, and I'm probably going to still come out on top. So that Foch 155 did not last long. He just got completely smoked by me and my platoon mate Brennan. Unfortunately, our mod 1 bit the dust. I guess that Centurion was watching up here, and the second he got lit, he took a bullet. Thankfully, it wasn't me, because this game is still up in the air. This E50 is still alive, and he is concerning. At any point, he could come around the corner and kill that VK, and, you know, right now I only have 2 bullets. This is where it's really sketchy being in an autoloader, because Right now he's full health. If he came around the corner, I'd be able to put maybe 2 into him if I don't bounce him, because the E50M is the E50 is very bouncy, and he would just have to put 2 into me, and I would, almost guaranteed to die. If I have all 4 shots, that could be a different story. I could potentially do a little bit more damage. So I track him with the first shot, hoping I would have done damage with that one, but and that's where if I had all 4 shots, I could have just clipped him out, but unfortunately I was not able to do so. But again, I don't know what's going on, and sometimes taking yourself out of the game for 30 seconds can be devastating, because that Leopard PTA could have pushed up and I could have had shots and used those 2 rounds and killed him. And if I force a reload, sometimes it's just not the right decision, and that's where you really have to have good judgment and when to save your shots, when to reload a clip, whatnot, because if you're caught with your pants down and you have a clip being loaded and you have broadside shots on their vehicles and or they push you, you could be completely screwed. So I'm not really sure what this VK is doing. He should, in my opinion, back off. He's engaging 2 tier 9 vehicles and he's gonna die for sure. He keeps it up. I don't want to risk popping out right now because I don't know where the Leopard is. He could have fallen back. Oh no, I'm sorry, not the Leopard. I don't know where the Centurion is. He could have easily fallen back. I see that he's no longer there, and so I feel confident in pushing out. Really lucky shot there, but let me pause it really quick. What I'm trying to tell you here is that if the Centurion had pushed here, if I had popped out, he could have put a shot into me, tracked me. It could have been bad. And this Leopard PTA, if I had taken 2 shots from anything, I would have died. And there's also the 50B. This is the reason why I'm sitting back, because unless those guys shoot, I'm not going to risk popping out, because if they haven't shot, they're almost guaranteed to shoot me, and then all it takes is one other shot, for instance, the 50B, to kill me. Another reason I didn't push out is because I don't want to take a shot at this point. Before I killed that E50, it was 3-4, and this is my logic behind this. I have 546 HP right now. That E50M, the Leopard, they have to shoot me 2 times in order to kill me, and I have a clip. Now that is a very, very intimidating tank to take on 1 versus 1, because if they hit me once, I can hit them 4 times and almost guarantee kill them. But if they're able to hit me now when I'm down to about 150 HP, that's easy. They can swing around the corner, I'll get 1 shot off, they'll get 1 shot off, they win because they have more HP and I have a lower alpha gun than they do. And so this is why when you're in this scenario, really think about how much HP you have, because the difference between being able to take 1 hit and not being able to take a hit at all can be, the difference between winning a game and losing. So this VK, as you can see, isn't too thrilled by the fact that I didn't, quote, help him, but I'm going to play this game to win. I'm not going to worry too much about Mr. VK that's butthurt with the fact that I didn't save him. Oh, guess we missed that. 50B pushed around the corner, and I was able to finish him off quite easily. I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he thought I was reloading. And again, these are the situations where you have to really gauge, like, he probably thought, okay, he just killed the E50. He's probably in the middle of reload. I can push him. And, yeah. So there's only 2 vehicles left. At this point, it's almost guaranteed that we're going to win, and I'm just waiting for my clip to reload so I can finish him off. The Leopard jumps off the edge, trying to get away from us, and that, unfortunately, isn't going to work too great for him. I'm almost done with my clip, and I'm timing it to where when I approach him, my clip will be fully reloaded. There's no use waiting behind a rock for your clip to completely reload and then push out. So as you can see, taking that hit was important, because if I was a 1-shot at that point, I would not have been able to make that move, and then who knows what the game might have done. Centurion is completely oblivious to what I'm doing. He's too focused on Brennan. Pop over, auto aim, get my top gun, 5,000 damage, which is very respectable in a tier 8 premium tank if you ask me, as well as getting 1500 spot. This game netted me quite a few credits, as you'll see in the post-game stats, and it was very enjoyable to play. I was still getting the feel for this thing. I actually played the Lorraine when it was a tier 9 medium tank, and I absolutely hated it, but that was when I was still a new player. The Bat Chat was my second. It was a tier 9 at the time, actually. Actually, no, it was a tier 10. Yeah, by the time the Bat Chat got pushed to tier 10, it was actually the second tier 10 vehicle that I ever picked up. The E4 was my first, actually. And I was a new player and it was just way too much horsepower for me. And I ended up selling both because I just did horrible with them. But now that I'm a much better player, I'm deciding to give these vehicles another shot. I'm actually grinding towards the Bat Chat as we speak, and we will see how well I do in that now that I'm more experienced. Anyway, guys, hopefully you found this gameplay entertaining or useful. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. As always, guys, thanks for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll talk to you guys later.